Guys, thanks again for joining in here with another product review. This is a big one. So this is one we had for quite some time. Got shipped over months ago, and we had some alterations done to this. This is a wrist curl specific table by Mithril, and right here's the name on it, the branding right there. Mithril. This is made by a gentleman who goes by the name of Pullheavy on Instagram. He's from Kazakhstan. So Storm and I both got one of these. This is mine. Storm, I think you had yours modded a little bit.
Yeah, so when I talked to him, I wanted mine to be a little bit taller. Just the way I train, I felt like it'd be a little bit better for me. This is actually the second version that Paul and myself received too. We were part of the first initial order where it was 2 pads, which worked very well, but this is definitely a game changer as far as machines. And if you look at these pads, they're actually adjustable of the angle that you can get. So say if you want to brace it here, I know Paul, I think you like it more straight on, where I like mine a little bit more angled back. So I got that modded. We also had a different version of the pulley as well. This version allows you to use the pulley from various heights, where before we were kind of more straight on. So say if you were wanting to do something where you were pronating on us, like the strap that's more supported, you can come off from those higher levers. And obviously with this, right arm, left arm, I can swap very easily. And yeah, this is where we're at currently now after all upgrades.
Yep, so the original 1.0 version of this, you had no adjustments here. You just had 2 static, slightly angled pads. Now you go all the way to a 90 degree or even further. Like on the last peg, you wind up even further than 90 degrees, so you can go to complete negative. The other thing you also have is you just want to target your fingers with no wrist flexion. Now you have a brace point to do it here. The table itself designed predominantly for wrist curling, rolling handles, wrist wrenches, things like that. But you can also use it for back pressure pronation as well. You just need to anchor it on the ground. So just general pros and cons, just to be up front. First off, the product's very well made. Everything's well made. We'll talk about the 2 handles we have too. They came from Mithril as well. Quality is outstanding. Downside is, if you're from North America, the shipping is going to be more than the cost of the machine. So won't get into the cost of the machine because I don't know where the price point is right now for the current, with all the mods. I don't know where that is. So you'll have to reach out to the Mithril makers, that's Pullheavy on Instagram, and you'll have to discuss from there. So if you are from Eastern Europe and you don't have to worry about like crazy international shipping from Kazakhstan and tariffs and all kinds of stuff, then it's a much more reasonable product. The other piece is definitely something that is for hardcore arm wrestling training people. If you're a newer person and you don't want to invest a lot, this is something you can definitely do just with a cable pulley system and anything that you can brace your wrist against at different angles. So this is more for, if you haven't seen it, it's being promoted and used regularly right now by Morzov from Kazakhstan, and Michael Todd uses it. If you follow Michael Todd, you see all his heavy wrist curl videos. He has a all greened out version of it.
Now, if you watch our demonstration, we don't have as many plates as Michael Todd has on there, but one day we'll be stacking a few more plates on.
Do you want to give us a quick demo at a couple different angles, talk through what you're feeling, and then we can go ahead and talk about the actual handles that come with it, or that you can order alongside. So if you are from the United States and you do order this, highly recommend getting handles along with it and pairing up shipping. So if you're going to go in on an expensive purchase, you might as well get at least these 2 handles that we got, because they are pretty good.
Yep, so if you look, just looking at it, basically you have a loading pin coming up to, this is actually a ball bearing pulley. So very basic carabiner, everything hooks up nice. So with this, I actually like doing this one more, I'm kind of more to where it's just slightly angled. You come in, this handle is really good for getting into your hand, and you're just kind of gripping around like so, and you could just work that cupping motion. As I said before, I don't think you have a strap handy, but if you did have a strap, you could work your pronation, supination pretty easily.
What's cool about it is you're getting a truly grip-based pronation. So if you're doing honor deviation and all the different things that you can do with rotation, you're actually doing it from a brace position to truly isolate the muscle. It's great to do the dynamic pronation too, because you're getting more muscles involved. But if you really want to isolate it, this pad is very good for isolating.
And it's very smooth. There's not a whole lot to it. It's very simple design. It works well, and it's one of those things. If you're programming, you don't have all the other variables that you might have with some makeshift items that you're putting together. The other handle over here, I don't know what the name of the handles are. I'm not sure with all the different names. But this reminds me of what handle that's been the basis for my top roll strength, which was the top roll eliminator.
Big bad anti-top roll.
Big bad anti-top roll. So I do this one two different ways. I put my thumb underneath it, grip like this, and just work on cupping. It's very easy, very fluid, very, I would say, smooth overall. Other way that I use it, I do like putting my thumb through and just kind of working on building that finger pressure. A lot of times you'll see me when I use a top roll eliminator or something similar to this, I leave a little bit of a gap below the fingers and just let that pressure build off my fingertips. Obviously this strap kind of supports there, so that's another thing. If you want to drop the weight and work on really building that hand strength, this strap's easy to pull off, and then you're just gripping on it. Obviously you're just trying to build that wrist and less of the hand. You could put the strap on there and build that strength as well.
Haven't tried this yet, but it does also look like that similar to the arm sport handles, you can also add this piece too if you don't want to deal with the strap. But I mean, if you take a look at the overall quality of this, it's very dense 3D printing, similar to arm sport, and similar design to the arm sport handle that we reviewed before. But all of this is very heavy duty. That's all heavy duty metal and heavy duty print. So quality of the handles is pretty good. And like you said, I really do like this strap here compared to the early versions of arm sport, because there was a metal bracket here.
Yeah.
If you remember, I used that handle so much that it twists. That metal piece goes from being like the rectangular side to the short side, and like mid-set, it'll kind of loosen up on your hand. So with that setup, you don't deal with that at all.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything that I think about this handle. It's good quality product, table, good quality. Obviously my table, I made a few alterations and it came out good. Paul, is there anything else you want to advise?
No, overall, again, I like it, and it's going into, now that I have everything set up the way I need, this will be added into my split moving forward for my next match. I'm looking forward to using it and actually programming on it and see where I can get. I know you and I we maxed out on it with Nick Stone, and I was a little behind on that, sadly. So I got some ground to make up on Storm and Nick, so let's see where we can get.
Don't worry, we're all shooting for Michael Todd numbers here soon.
Yep. Hey, thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Again, last little recap: Mithril wrist curl table and handles. Look him up at Pullheavy. Pullheavy. I think maybe it's Pullheavy Arm Wrestling or just Pullheavy. He's from Kazakhstan. Look him up on Instagram. Thanks again.